Ladies and gentlemen, I am the one and only DJ Storms. Welcome back to the channel here on YouTube.com. As of course, you already know who I am, Mr. Controversy, and the operator of the best damn Twitter handle known to mankind. Normally I would be a little bit more hyped up and excited, but I don't think a lot of people know that we actually have a pay-per-view tomorrow. It's called the Elimination Chamber. I don't blame you if you don't know that it's tomorrow, because WWE seemingly pieced this pay-per-view together in 9 days. And I've said it before, WWE needs to do a much better job with their pay-per-view scheduling. They put a Saudi Arabian show on the 27th, right at the end of February, when they knew they were going to have the Elimination Chamber on March 8th. If this was going to be the case, you could have easily moved the Saudi Arabian event to the end of April. It would have been much more effective, it would have played out much better, and you would have given yourself a lot more time to build in between each pay-per-view. Now, this pay-per-view seemingly looks like a pay-per-view filled with rematches and matches that were seemingly thrown together out of thin air. So why am I going to care about this in the end? I mean, I'm trying not to be overly critical. I don't want to be overly critical. I don't think anyone wants to be overly critical, because at the end of the day, we're all wrestling fans, but I don't know what to tell you. I really don't know what to tell you, but regardless of that, I am here, and I am not alone. I am here to give you the best possible wrestling analytics show that you will find anywhere on YouTube.com. And of course, I'm not alone. Before I introduce my guests, this is the official rundown for WWE Elimination Chamber 2020, which of course is streaming live on the WWE Network from the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, with the pre-show starting at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And my guest today comes to us from Brooklyn, New York. He has collaborated with me a few times, and it's been a long, long time since we actually got together and collaborated, but now the stars have finally aligned. The stars have finally aligned for these two individuals, I'm talking about me and my guests, to finally collaborate again and grace everyone with our incredible knowledge on pro wrestling. Please help me welcome loyal DJ Storms Posse member, lifelong wrestling fan, the knowledgeable, the incomparable, the intellectual, Earl Cole. How you doing, Mr. Earl Cole?
Oh, DJ Storms, what an introduction indeed it was. What an introduction. It's been a long time, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a long time. DJ Storms and I have been friends for over 2 years, and I have to tell you, this guy is one of the best minds in wrestling. I've said it before, I've said it again. He is a legit boss. I've said it before, and I've said it again. I've listened to all his YouTube shows. They've all been successful. Everything he touched turns to gold. And ladies and gentlemen, after being stifled, after being put on the shelf for so many months, I'm back in the wrestling world. I'm back in the wrestling game, and I'm not going to be stifled anymore, because I belong to DJ Posse page right here on Facebook. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, that means it leads to me one thing. DJ Storms and I were meant to be put together. And we were meant to be put together, and I think that's what happens when you get off one planet and you get on a new planet with fresh, new ideas, new faces, new way of thinking, and I am very happy about that. I'm very happy about that. Ladies and gentlemen, on the DJ Posse page, I'm going to be coming out with my brand new show. It's called Wrestle Talk. It'll be premiering this Monday, March the 9th. I hope everyone will tune in and watch. Please use the hashtag WrestleTalk when you are commenting on my show. Please use the hashtag WrestleTalk, because I'm back. I will be talking about a lot of things about wrestling. I will give you the best show I can possibly give you. And of course, I will entertain you as well. So again, like I said, I'm very blessed, and I am very happy to be part of DJ Storms Posse on the Facebook page, not only as an admin, but as a fan of the wrestling community, which I have been for 40 plus years. I have broken down many things. I have told you about wrestling. I have told you what I like, what I don't like, what I do consider things that are good for the product and what are not good for the product. And DJ Storms and I haven't done this in a long time. So it is so good. It feels like peaches and cream reunited. It feels so good. If you don't know the song, please Google it.
Oh, trust me, I'm going to be Googling that after tonight.
About the Elimination Chamber.
I'm going to be Googling that after tonight.
If you know the song, yeah, please do. It's a very cool song. Again, folks, we are here to discuss the Elimination Chamber. And, you know, to be quite honestly honest with you all, I'm going to be really frank with this. I don't even know why we're discussing the Elimination Chamber, because really this is just an afterthought. This really is an afterthought. The WWE always makes these poor decisions when it comes to WrestleMania season. Instead of keeping a track of one event and keeping us entertained with one event, no, they gotta rope a dope and everything else that's going on. So, as much as it pains me to go and do this video for tonight and for tomorrow night's Elimination Chamber, I'm just going to sit here and DJ Storms and I are going to go through these matches, and I'll give you my analytics and he's going to give his brilliant analytics. And after this video is over, I'm going to just give a little rant.
A little rant? Oh my God, let me tell you something. When it comes to DJ Storms' channel, no rant is ever little, my friend. And hey, look, it may be a burden to talk about the Elimination Chamber. It may be a burden, but I mean, come on. You're collaborating with DJ Storms. I mean, I know, we're actually recording this before SmackDown. You know, SmackDown's theme song is, "Are you ready for a good time?" We never have a good time while watching SmackDown, but when you're collaborating with DJ Storms, oh, it's always a good time.
Oh, I'm never going to doubt that. Oh, I'm never going to doubt that for 1 second. I never doubt that for 1 second. We have collaborated on many things that were good for the product. And this unfortunately was a rush job by the WWE because it's on their calendar and they have to produce it. So therefore, they have to put it together. Again, we'll see what happens when we predict these matches, but there's really nothing exciting about these matches. It really isn't. I don't see anything coming out of it. I don't see any significant things that are heading to WrestleMania, other than what I understand, what I read from the PW Insider. We're going to get 16 matches.
16?
I mean, other than that, 16.
Oh my Lord! Looks like we're gonna be here till 12:30. We're gonna be staying up till 12:30. If you're on the East Coast, which I am, and Earl Cole is, we're gonna be staying up till 12:30 for WrestleMania, just like we did last year. Jesus.
Yeah. They said the card is stacked this year. They're stacking it again. So we're going to get 16 matches, and it'll be interesting to see what kind of cook-up matches they're going to come up with. But that's what the WWE will produce for you for
pretty much.
And pretty much.
Yeah. But anyway.
So again, DJ Storms, I want to thank you very much for allowing me to come on your show today. Appreciate it, and let's get to it.
Absolutely. First things first. As you heard him say, it's his new show, Wrestle Talk, is premiering on Monday. Now, if you want to watch Wrestle Talk, here's what you need to do. First things first, social medias, as far as I go. Follow me on Twitter at HistoryMakerDJS. Follow me on Instagram and Periscope at TheDJStorms. Follow me on Facebook. Add me on Facebook as well. All the links are in the description. And if you add me on Facebook, then I will send you an invite to like the official DJ Storms business page. And then once you like the business page, then, and only then I can send you an invite to the DJ Storms Posse group on Facebook. And we are at 39 members so far. We're going to try and boost it up just a little bit more. And on the DJ Storms Posse group on Facebook, it will be Mr. Earl Cole's show, Wrestle Talk. and you can watch it live. If you missed the replay, or if you missed it live, you can watch the replay. You can check out the Lightning Flash update from last week if you missed it. The link is also in the description. I did a heated rant on The Fiend, John Cena, Roman Reigns, and Goldberg. I lost my voice in it, but hey, it was worth it. Also, next Saturday, I will be appearing on No Show Wrestling Podcast. Big thank you to Noah and Luke Allen, the two hosts of the podcast, for offering me the opportunity. Follow them on Twitter at No Show Wrestling and send them questions in their DM box, and I could very well answer your question on the podcast. So big thank you to them. I will be appearing on their podcast on the 14th. Definitely check them out. Subscribe to them on YouTube as well. And I'm going to answer all the questions that they have to offer me, questions that you send, questions that they may come up with. We're going to talk about and touch upon everything. Earl Cole, where can we find you on social media before we get into our first match?
Oh, yes, absolutely. You can follow me on Twitter. Please follow me on Twitter at WWE Earl C. That's WWE Earl C on Twitter. Instagram, you can follow me on Earl C99 on Instagram. And, of course, you can find me on Facebook. Just type in Earl Cole and click up my page and send me a friend request. Also, I wanted to let you all know, also on the DJ Posse page, I will be live from my seat inside the AEW's Dynamite. As you all know, AEW will be coming to Newark for the very first time on Wednesday night, the 25th of March. I will be live from my seat to give you an inside sneak peek at the 2-ring, 2-cage, as AEW Dynamite presents Blood and Guts. It is going to be a historic evening of wrestling action. I urge you to go to Ticketmaster right now and get the limited number of seats that are remaining. If you cannot come to Newark, then please join us on TNT at 8 p.m. because it's going to be historic. And I'm sure everyone in the wrestling community and the world will be converging on Newark, New Jersey. So that's going to be Newark, New Jersey on Wednesday, the 25th. We're just 2 weeks away from AEW Dynamite, and it's just going to be fun. And DJ Storms will be in the house as well.
Indubitably, yes, I will.
We're going to have fun in Newark.
Absolutely. And on top of that,
we're going to have fun in Newark.
On top of that, we're actually organizing something. I talked to my friend Maria Rose, shout out to her, and her podcast, Bar Stools and Body Slams. Her and her co-host Dennis, they were talking about AEW Revolution. They were talking about Dynamite this past Thursday, I believe. I had talked to Earl Cole, and Earl Cole is actually going to be having dinner at Dinosaur BBQ right across from the Prudential Center. We are planning on organizing a possible DJ Storms Posse dinner. So if you are going to be in the New Jersey area for Dynamite, talk to me, talk to Earl Cole. All our social media links are in the description. I will put them in the description, and he could possibly reserve a table. So far, it's just me and Earl Cole. I'll have to talk to Maria. She said that she's actually trying to figure out her schedule because she has VIP tickets, and she has to be there by 5, and she has like a little VIP experience before the doors actually open. But regardless, I'm going to double check with her. I'm definitely going to double check with my friend Christina. Double check with a few people on DJ Storms Posse group chat as well. I think Dylan's also going to be there. I think there's a dude named Dylan or a dude named Steven. I don't know. I'm definitely going to double check there. But regardless, we're definitely planning on organizing a dinner. So if you're interested, please hit me up and please hit Earl Cole up. Now then, without further ado, I'd say we get into these matches. So, first things first. We got 6 matches. Yeah, we're going over this piss poor card. 6 matches. Let's talk about the SmackDown Tag Team Championship Elimination Chamber first. We got Miz and Morrison defending against The New Day, The Usos, Lucha House Party, Heavy Machinery, and Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode. Now, I don't like how this match was just randomly thrown together out of thin air. I am not a fan of that. However, this does have the potential to be a fairly decent Elimination Chamber. I know when you put certain amount of people together, if you put these teams together, if you put a match on the show, regardless of the build or not, more likely than not, the match quality will be good. And I do expect somewhat of a decent chamber from these tag teams. Though it can be a clusterfuck at times, I do expect a decent match from these two teams. I expect Miz and Morrison to retain. There's no reason for Miz and Morrison to lose the championships after they just won them at Super Showdown, which was actually the right call. I'm actually surprised that WWE went with the right decision of having Miz and Morrison win the championships. I'm going with Miz and Morrison to retain. As far as who they face at WrestleMania, I don't necessarily know. I'm going to predict the Usos, because more likely than not, you know how WWE loves to commonly throw the Usos into a SmackDown Live Tag Team Championship match whenever there is a big pay-per-view on the horizon. Even though realistically, Miz and Morrison should realistically hold the titles until the summer, and then Heavy Machinery would be the perfect tag team to take it off. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't even mind if Heavy Machinery goes forth to WrestleMania and wins the tag team titles, especially with Otis and the babyface reactions that Otis has been getting in this storyline with Mandy, but I have a feeling that they're probably going to continue that storyline with Mandy, and we're probably going to get Otis and Dolph Ziggler on the show. I mean, we have 16 matches rumored for fucking WrestleMania, so you know that they're going to do everything in their power to possibly get that match on the show as a singles match. If it gets Otis over, then so be it. But as far as this chamber goes, I'm going with Miz and Morrison. Again, no reason to have them lose. They just won the championships. Miz and Morrison retain the SmackDown Live Tag Team titles inside the Elimination Chamber. I'm going to hand the ball over to Mr. Cole. Mr. Cole, what are your thoughts and opinions on this match, and what is your prediction as far as who is walking out the SmackDown Tag Team Champions?
Well, again, you know, you brilliantly always put things analytically correct. And that's why I admire you. That's why I feed off of you. Again, I'm kind of upset with this. And here's the reason. First of all, the Revival was supposed to be in this match. They were removed from the match. And why are the Revival removed? Because they are in dispute right now with the WWE. They want to control their own creative writing for their tag team. The WWE has said, absolutely not, we control the tag team division. The tag team division has been kind of piss poor as of late, especially on SmackDown. The matches make no sense. The matches itself are boring and snooze fest worthy. They're not piston engine kind of matches that I would like to see on television. Therefore, this match was put together. I think Miz and Morrison as a tag team are really good, and I'm glad that they did get the belt. And I'm glad that they got the belt. I think it was, like you said, DJ Storms, I agree with you. It was the right call, and I agree with the decision. As far as the title change is concerned, I don't see it in this match. I don't see it at all. I can't see any of these teams getting the tag team belts. I'm just going to go on the safe wavering as you and say that they will retain. Miz and Morrison will retain the titles. I would be shocked if they go in another direction. But I don't see any title changes in this match. This match, again, was put together. I'm not happy about this match. None of the teams earned the right to get inside the chamber. They just automatically picked names out of a hat and threw them in the chamber. That's not how a chamber works. Usually in a chamber match, you're supposed to earn the right to get into the chamber. But this time, no, the WWE did not go that route. They just put it together, and we got mashed potatoes and gravy. So
it's
okay.
Yeah, whatever.
So I just it's whatever. That's what I say. It's whatever.
Whatever.
And Miz and Morrison will retain.
I actually read up on the Revival. They're AEW bound at this rate. They've been AEW bound since the beginning of last year. WWE has tried 4 times now to get the Revival to sign, and each and every single time the Revival has refuted. They're set in their ways. By the summertime, we're going to be seeing the Revival and the Young Bucks put on some classics. So, why don't we move on to the next match? Let's talk about Aleister Black versus AJ Styles in a no disqualification match. This is WrestleMania worthy, but they're having it on the Chamber, and this match came about because AJ Styles beat Aleister Black thanks to the OC's interference. I do not like how this match came about whatsoever. How you sacrifice Aleister Black's undefeated streak on the main roster, and you kill his momentum for an AJ Styles Undertaker feud that's being built up, when realistically, there is no reason why these two should be feuding. The Undertaker hasn't even come out and explained why he decided to show up at Super Showdown and chokeslam AJ Styles to win the Kuwait Mountain Trophy. And on top of that, I've stated this before. After Super Showdown, why are we going to care? Why are we going to be invested in a AJ Styles versus Undertaker match after The Undertaker came out in the gauntlet match after AJ Styles suffered 0 offense from R-Truth and AJ Styles got beat by 1 chokeslam? The Undertaker didn't even remove his hat and coat, and he pinned AJ Styles after 1 chokeslam. So why are we going to care about this match after Undertaker already beat Styles? On top of that, WWE, and I don't care what anyone says, they are not going to get us to care. They're not going to build a story good enough for us to care about Styles versus The Undertaker. The Undertaker can barely move. Undertaker should have retired after WrestleMania 31. The streak should have still been intact. We should have had Sting versus Undertaker at WrestleMania 31, and that should have been it for both men. Both men would have retired much more healthier, in much better shape, and The Undertaker and Sting could have both gone into the Hall of Fame. But no, here we are, and The Undertaker's still wrestling. 30 years of The Undertaker, which is a great accomplishment in its own right, and I will give him his due. Undertaker has always been my favorite superstar of all time. Everything that he's put forth into the business has been nothing short of exceptional, and I will have the utmost respect for him, but they really need to let the guy retire. They really do. The fact that they sacrificed Aleister Black's undefeated streak, and on top of that, the fact that Aleister Black was on the main roster for over a year, and he went unpinned and unsubmitted up until last Monday on Raw, and he didn't receive 1 championship opportunity, but yet the fucking Street Profits were treated like jokes for months, and they somehow magically get not 1, but 2 tag team title matches against Rollins and Murphy. It's beyond me. It really is beyond me. Now, here's my biggest question. If you wanted to give us Black versus Styles, why didn't you just book Aleister Black and AJ Styles on the pay-per-view for the first time around, instead of booking the match on Raw? Because more likely than not, The Undertaker's going to show up here anyway. More likely than not, The Undertaker's going to show up, and Aleister Black is going to get his win back. Why do we need to go through a scenario of 50-50 booking just to build the Undertaker-Styles feud? If you wanted to build the Undertaker-Styles feud, fine, but you could have easily spared Aleister Black a loss on Monday by just booking the match on the pay-per-view, having The Undertaker show up and Aleister Black wins, and he continues his winning streak. It really doesn't make any sense to me. And based on my little mini rant there, I guess you can tell which superstar I'm going with. I'm going with Aleister Black to beat AJ Styles here in this no disqualification match. The OC will probably get involved. The Undertaker will probably show up, take out the OC, and he'll cause Styles to lose the match to Black. Aleister Black wins here. Mr. Earl Cole, the floor is yours.
You know something? You know, that rant was so powerful. It said a 5.6 Richter scale on my telephone. Let me just explain something to all of you, okay? Let me explain something. Yeah, there is no filter.
You see the T-shirt. You see the T-shirt.
And I'm going to say this. Yeah. I'm going to explain this, and I'm going to say this as harshly as I can possibly say it. The WWE is pissing on their superstars from NXT. They are pissing on them. And why I say they're pissing on them? They don't respect Aleister Black. They don't respect Humberto Correa. They don't respect anyone who has star power and who has it factor. They don't like that. So they try to water them down as best as they can by doing odd things to them. Now, I would have liked at WrestleMania to see Aleister Black take on The Undertaker. I think that would have been interesting.
The story would have been there. It's two similar characters.
I mean, it would have been an interesting match. But instead, the WWE decided to mash AJ Styles with The Undertaker. Now, is that a box office draw? Not to me, it isn't. Not to me. I really don't see the feud.
Maybe 10 years ago.
Now, maybe 10 years ago, maybe. But not now.
Not now.
Not now. I mean, last week I was in Brooklyn, and I was at my seat. I was watching the match with AJ Styles and Aleister Black. First of all, the match should have never taken place because it was done poorly. It was really done poorly. It shouldn't have taken place because first he had to take on the two OC members, and then finally he took on Styles. Now, why did you do that? Who wrote that? I don't know. But that's not what was advertised. So you tricked the WWE Universe into thinking that they were going to get an Aleister Black match with AJ Styles. No, instead what we got was a 3-on-1 handicap match. What kind of crap is that? What kind of crap is that? What are you doing? What are you doing? So you just deceived the WWE Universe by making them pay their money in their ticket to come to Brooklyn to see a live Raw event, and they wanted to see, everybody was so excited in their seats for this Aleister Black AJ Styles match. Instead, that's not what they got. Now you want us to believe that the Philadelphia crowd is going to enjoy Aleister Black taking on AJ Styles in the no disqualification match, when you know darn well the OC is going to interfere in this match. Am I missing something here?
I don't think so. I think you hit the nail on the head perfectly.
Yeah, I am missing something. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you think we're so stupid as wrestling fans to sit there and think that you just booked a no disqualification match with Aleister Black and AJ, knowing that the OC is going to interfere. That's like giving a teenager a black card and telling her to go into the mall and buy whatever she wants.
Pretty much.
Because that's what it is like. That's exactly what it's like.
Pretty much. I'd be surprised if The Undertaker doesn't get involved.
Yeah. I mean, this match it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Now, it could be a good match. Don't get me wrong.
The way the audience wants, I hate.
It could be a good match.
No, I'm not going to knock the match. I'm not going to knock it. I mean, they can use steel chairs. They can use tables. They can use whatever they want in the match. I'm not going to knock it. But what I'm saying to you is, if the match doesn't go correct the way the audience wants it to go, and this is in Philadelphia, I would not want to be Vince in the back seat, in the backstage area with the headphones.
Tell me about it, my friend.
I'm going to go with you, DJ. Yeah, I'm going to go with you, DJ Storm, and I'm going to say that Aleister Black wins the match. I will say he will win the match. But I don't think in this day and age you should not do wrestling fans. And I don't think in this day and age that you should think that wrestling fans are stupid. I don't think in this day and age you should try that.
Mm-hmm. Couldn't have said it better myself. You see, this is why I had him.
I was angry. I was angry as a wrestling fan. I was angry because I wanted an AJ Styles, Aleister Black match. It would have been a great match. But that's not what we got. And shame on you, WWE, for duping the audience. Shame on you.
You know something? I didn't even watch Raw because I had 2 college exams, a college paper, and a PowerPoint to do. It's come to the point where I actually want my college professors to give me homework so I don't have to watch these piece of shit shows.
It wasn't good. It was a very poor moment, and the expectation in the balloon just came out the air.
Well,
I says, "Wow, this is what we spend our money on. Is this a 3?" Anyway.
Yeah. Let's move on. We're getting too much into this. I mean, I think we've said all we could about this match. Moving on to Andrade. Moving on to Andrade versus Humberto Carrillo, who you did talk about earlier. Humberto Carrillo and Andrade for the United States Championship. This is the 5th match in 3 months, 3rd on pay-per-view, that we're going to see between these 2 individuals. Will they put on a good match? More likely than not, yes. More likely than not, they will put on a good match. But, again, why are we going to care after we've seen it? We've seen it 5 times before this. Twice on pay-per-view, actually. Twice on pay-per-view. It really does not make any sense how they are continuing to give Humberto Carrillo these opportunities after the guy has done nothing but lost. They put this guy in the middle of Monday Night Raw. They've had him lose to Andrade, Seth Rollins, AJ Styles. Everyone that he's been in the ring with, he's taken a loss. And somehow he's still getting United States Championship opportunities. You're not doing Carrillo any favors. And let me tell you something. Carrillo, he's very talented in the ring. He's a great wrestler. But he's been losing. He's been losing. He's been losing day after day or week after week after week to different people. But yet you expect us to take him seriously in a championship match. You know, there's been reports that supposedly Andrade could be losing the United States Championship. I wouldn't be surprised if they take the title off of Andrade here and put it on Carrillo out of pettiness. Out of pure pettiness for Andrade getting suspended. Just out of punishment for him. I wouldn't be surprised. But if I'm going to make a prediction here, I'm going to go with Andrade. There's no reason to give the title to Carrillo. Matter of fact, Carrillo's cousin, Angel Garza, he's been making a bigger case of why he should be challenging for the United States Championship more so than Carrillo, especially since Angel Garza has been on a winning streak as of lately. I would love to see Angel Garza win the championship at WrestleMania. That's just me. Will they go that route? I don't know. It seems as though they might be going that route, but we'll have to wait and see. But again, this is merely them putting together a match that we've seen 5 times already on a pay-per-view card just because they can put on a good match, and we are expected to care by WWE just because they can put on a good match. But again, who the fuck cares about Humberto after everything that they've done with him? Nothing but loss after loss after loss. They're not doing Humberto any favors, and he should not win here. I don't think Humberto can be saved on the main roster. They might have to send him back down to NXT. Humberto has been doing nothing but losing big matches. He's pretty much become the cruiserweight version of Braun Strowman, and he's been losing big match after big match after big match. I'm going with Andrade to retain the United States Championship. No reason to have him lose, and I'm going with Andrade to defend the championship, possibly in a ladder match at WrestleMania, but either way, I can see Angel Garza walking out the new United States Champion at WrestleMania in some way, shape, or form. How about it, Earl?
Okay. You know how much I love luchador matches. I love them. But in this instance, I'm not loving this feud. I mean, we've gotten this feud on Raw. We've gotten this feud on 2 pay-per-views, as you said. How much more can we stomach another match like this? He's not being respected by the WWE. They jobber him to other people. Okay? Somebody that talented should not be jobbered. Okay? And I think it's time to send him back to 205 Live. I think it's time that he goes back there. I think it's time that he feuds with somebody else in 205 Live. I think it is time to set sail with him. Because obviously you don't respect him enough, his talent enough, for him to be carrying a title or anything of that nature. You can't keep losing his title. You can't keep making him lose all the time. His star power is going in the toilet. His star power is going in the toilet. How in the world can somebody take him seriously if you keep jobbering him? What are you doing? What are you doing? You know what you're doing with him. You don't know how to do. You don't know how to create things for him creatively. Like, what are you doing? Like, what is going on here? What am I seeing here? What is this? And let me tell you this one thing. And let me just say this. The WWE is so two-faced when it comes to championship matches. Now, let me just say this. Didn't the WWE say about 4 years ago or 3 years ago that championship matches are antiquated and that we will not see a rematch once a title holder loses a championship? We're not supposed to see the same people going after the title.
I think that was 2 years ago.
Unfortunately, the WWE
2 years
is going
ago.
back on their word. 2 years ago. The WWE is now going back on their word, and they keep giving us the same people over and over and over again.
Yep, Bill Goldberg is Universal Champion.
I don't want to see this match anymore. I don't. I'm getting. Well, well, okay. Well,
Yeah, that's a different story for a different time.
That's a story. Yeah,
We'll rant on that.
story.
We'll rant on that in the near future. Trust me.
This match, I don't want to. Yeah. I don't want to see this match again. I don't want to see it again. As far as the prediction is concerned, I think, like you said, out of pity, they may give him the title.
So you're going with Humberto?
Again, they may give it to him.
I'm going with
I
Andrade.
lean that direction.
I'm going with Andrade. Are you going with Humberto?
Okay. Yeah, again, like I said, even though they jobber him, and even though I think that this is his time to, come to the promised land and get the title.
It's really not going to do him any good. It could actually cause him to get booed. I mean, his booking has not been good whatsoever. I mean, we'll see what happens.
It's piss poor.
Piss poor. We'll definitely see what happens.
It's piss poor. It's a piss poor. Because it's not good. It's not good.
I don't think there's enough words in the English language. I don't think there's enough words in the English language to describe the booking of WWE. I don't think there's enough words in any language to negatively describe the booking of WWE at this rate. I'm just pointing that out there.
No,
Anyway.
Yeah, I know.
And don't even get me started on this next match. Don't even get me started on this next match. Braun Strowman versus Shinsuke Nakamura, Cesaro, and Sami Zayn, a 3-on-1 handicap match for the Intercontinental Championship. Can I please ask this question? So, it was originally supposed to be Braun Strowman and Shinsuke Nakamura. We've seen that match twice. Both times were terrible. No one's going to give a shit about it a third time, so WWE decides to add Sami Zayn and Cesaro. What happens if Cesaro or Sami Zayn pins Braun Strowman? Does that mean that they become the Intercontinental Champion, or does Shinsuke Nakamura get the championship back? WWE has failed to even explain the scenario here. A singles championship being defended in a handicap match is one of the dumbest concepts I think I have ever seen from the WWE. I don't know what the fuck to even fathom about this. I don't even know how to respond to this. I don't know what to think about this. I don't know how to look at this match.
I wouldn't even book it.
Yeah, well, why even book the match? At this point, at this rate, you were better off just booking a rematch between Strowman and Nakamura, period. You were better off just booking that match. I don't see Braun Strowman losing this match. I just think it's a stupid-ass concept because, again, what happens if Cesaro or Sami Zayn pins Braun Strowman? Just like I said. It's a dumb-ass concept. WWE takes their audience for idiots. They take their audience for idiots. They expect us not to ask questions. Expects us not to question their booking decision to have a singles championship defended in a fucking handicap match. I'm going with Braun Strowman to retain and to be
with two analytical minds like us.
Exactly. Again, this is why I have Jan. And again, I really don't know what to say. I'm just going with Braun Strowman. More likely than not, we could end up seeing Braun Strowman versus Daniel Bryan for the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania. Daniel Bryan could win the championship then. We could see Braun Strowman versus Sheamus. That's definitely a match that I could see WWE booking, and Sheamus wins the Intercontinental Championship. But either way, I just hope Braun Strowman doesn't hold the Intercontinental Championship past WrestleMania. Braun Strowman, and I've said it numerous amounts of times, Braun Strowman's a dead act. Braun Strowman's a dead act. He's a dead character. All the guy is a look. All the guy has is a good look. The guy is not very good at cutting promos. I mean, he does have intensity. I'll give him that, but how can anyone take his word seriously after he has been pretty much booked like a bum for the last 2 years? I can't take him seriously. He has regressed in the ring. He's not good in the ring at all. I don't know what happened, but somewhere along the way, he went downhill as an in-ring competitor. And at this rate, I don't even know why WWE even gave him the Intercontinental Championship to begin with. I quite frankly don't want to see Braun Strowman in a ring at all after he loses the Intercontinental Championship. Braun Strowman retains here. I can see him facing off against Sheamus or Daniel Bryan for the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania. We'll see what happens as far as that goes, but Braun Strowman retains. Do you even want to talk about this match? Because I have a feeling that if we continue to talk about this match, I have a feeling that one of us may have a fucking aneurysm.
And unfortunately, we can't resuscitate over the screen.
Unfortunately, not.
Unfortunately, let me just say this about Braun Strowman. Let me just say this about Braun Strowman. I've said this many, many times on my old show, and I've said this to many people. If you're going to call yourself the monster among men, okay, first of all, you're supposed to look intimidating. That's one thing. 2, you're supposed to be destructive. And 3, you're supposed to be unbeatable. Braun Strowman has been booked in these ridiculous, comedic, scenic things that I have never seen before. Not only did you water down his prowess as the monster among men, but you also destroyed his star power with these ridiculous bookings. So first it was Saturday Night Live, then it was Sami Zayn, then it was Lana's husband. It just was on and on and on and on and on. So you just ruined it. You ruined it. You took your feet and you stomped all over his star power, and you just watered him down till he was a muddy mess. And now you gave him the Intercontinental Championship. This is not supposed to happen. This is not how you book a championship match. This is not how you book a championship match. If you're going to book an Intercontinental Championship match, you book it one-on-one with the person. Not 3 people, not the audience, not the popcorn vendor, not the ice cream vendor, not the broadcaster, not the ring announcer. You don't book that on the show. You don't do that. You don't do that. What are you doing?
That's got to be, you know what? That's got to be the tagline for this show. That's got to be the tagline for this show. The tagline for the show is WWE, what are you doing?
Yes. What are you doing? Just what are you doing? What are you doing as far as booking is concerned? What in the world are you doing? What are you doing? Take your head out of your booking ass and look at the overall picture.
Oh my God.
I mean,
it's laughable. It's laughable, man. I don't even know what to say at this rate. I don't even know what to say. Oh my Lord.
What are you doing?
Oh man.
I just want to take a dusty slipper and smack somebody. I really do. Because you just can't sit there and tell me that this is good wrestling. This ain't good wrestling.
If you do, you're an absolute idiot.
Book a show.
If people actually find enjoyment in this, I'm telling you, I really don't have any respect for you as a wrestling fan. And I think I could speak to Earl Cole as well. I can speak for Earl Cole as well. We can't take you seriously if you're trying to tell us that this is good. You cannot tell us.
I can't. And this Philadelphia audience is going to chew up this card if it don't go the correct way.
This better be like 5 minutes in and out.
This is absolutely. Yeah, I better not see this go 20 minutes.
They will. Just watch. They will. Just watch. Just watch. They're going to do it just to piss you off. Oh, my God. You can't see it. You can't see it, ladies and gentlemen. You can't see it, but he is pissed right now.
It bewilders me that my blood pressure is going up for this piss poor match.
Prediction?
I can't. Prediction, Strowman retains the championship. There's no other way about it. Squash the two of them, get it over with, and let's move on.
Oh, my God. All right. You good? Are you good?
Thank you. Yeah, my pressure's coming down.
Okay, perfect.
I think I'm about 120 over 90 right now.
Okay. As long as we establish that. As long as we establish that. Anyway, let's move on. Next match. The Street Profits versus Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy, Raw Tag Team Championships. Again, this is another match I have my gripes with, considering the fact that, again, Street Profits were booked like jokes, and yet they were given 2 Raw Tag Team title opportunities, and now they're given the Raw Tag Team titles. Why were the Street Profits given the Raw Tag Team titles? 2 reasons. Number 1, Samoa Joe's suspension. Samoa Joe was suspended, and more likely than not, we were headed towards Samoa Joe and Kevin Owens versus Rollins and Murphy at WrestleMania for the Raw Tag Team titles. That is not going to happen. Samoa Joe got suspended, and even though he was coming back before WrestleMania, WWE's not going to give Samoa Joe a championship after he just came back from suspension. You're going to make an example out of him. Then came the Street Profits. Street Profits benefited from Samoa Joe's suspension. That was reason number 1. Reason number 2 was the fact that the Elimination Chamber was being put together in 9 days because of Super Showdown, and they decided to give the Street Profits a Raw Tag Team title reign just to get the rematch and another championship match on the card. You know what it's called, people? It's a little thing I like to call lazy booking. WWE are the experts at it. Lazy booking. Street Profits are now the Raw Tag Team Champions after they've done nothing to earn it. And to be quite honest with you, I would be shocked if they hold the titles past WrestleMania. Will this be a good match? Probably. Probably this could be a great match if they give these guys 15, 20 minutes. It could be the best match of the night. It really could be. I definitely can see this match being a great match. But again, this is the third time that we've seen it within 9 days, number one. Number two, Street Profits were merely given the championship as a backup plan. 3, this was merely put on the card for the sake of putting it on the card. Again, lazy booking. The Raw Tag Team Championship title picture is just as comedic and just as piss poor as the SmackDown Live Tag Team title picture. Now, even though SmackDown's tag team division, I will say, actually has some good teams. I'm not going to lie. I mean, just think about this for a minute. You got the Usos, you got the New Day, you got Miz and Morrison, you got Lucha House Party, you got Heavy Machinery, you got the Revival. You got some decent teams in the division. Their booking has just been terrible. And again, that is WWE's main problem. The booking always makes or breaks a superstar, and when it comes to a pay-per-view, the booking always makes or breaks the show. And I have the feeling that the booking could very well break the show into bite-sized pieces. Yep, exactly. What are you doing? The rundown for Elimination Chamber 2020. What are you doing? There you go. I'm going with the Street Profits to retain the championships. Will it be a good match? Probably. And quite frankly, I hope it is a good match. That's the thing. I don't want WWE to fail. No, I don't think anyone with a common ounce of intelligence, or a small ounce of intelligence and an ounce of common sense, I don't think anyone wants the WWE to fail. Earl Cole, he doesn't want the WWE to fail. I don't want the WWE to fail. We just want to see some good wrestling and some good programs from it. And all I can hope for is that we get some good wrestling from this match and hopefully this pay-per-view. I'm going with the Street Profits to retain. How about it, Earl?
Again, I like the commentary, and I like what you have to say there.
Thank you.
Here's the thing. I have some inside scoop. You're welcome. And I have some inside scoop on this. And, of course, here's the thing. Street Profits were given their final opportunity at the tag team titles. Okay? They went to Mr. McMahon and they complained about how they were being booked. Now, because they went and complained about their booking, Vince McMahon turned around and he booked them like the New Day, a childhood carnival act with the solo cups and everything else like that. So what happened was this last Monday night, the WWE management decided that this would be the last opportunity the Street Profits had at the tag team belts. The Street Profits did win the tag team belts over the Monday Night Messiah. Now, here's the thing that I don't like. I don't like playing hot potato with titles.
Neither do I.
And this piss poor me. I don't like hot potatoes with titles. And I have a very strong feeling in my gut that they are going to give back the Messiah the tag team belts. Now, I could be wrong. And the Street Profits retain the titles. But I don't know, for some strange reason or another, because Owens interfered in the match and because they coughed up the titles to the Street Profits, I don't know if WWE management liked that ending. I don't know if they cared for it. I don't know what their thought process is. But I don't know. It's just in my gut. Just something tells me we're going to get something we're not going to like.
I wouldn't put it past them. I really wouldn't put it past them. Because,
again, like I said, I don't like hot potato title changes. I really don't. And I'm hoping that the Street Profits can retain these titles because they did have a great moment in Brooklyn. The crowd exploded when they won the championships. And it was a moment that they deserved, I think, because they have wrestled the Messiah 3 times on Raw, and the 2 times that they came out, they didn't win the titles, they didn't win this, they didn't win this match. I don't know. I'm kind of like conflicted with this whole thing. I really am conflicted with my prediction. But to err on the side of caution, I think the Profits will retain their titles. But I just don't know with the WWE because they do the most dumbest curveballs in wrestling history. Just when you think you have all of the answers, they just change the question.
And not in a good way.
Change the way that you are. No. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it isn't.
Most of the time it sucks.
In this instance, I don't think it's going to be. Yeah. The tag team division on Raw has been very piss poor as far as creatively is concerned. The matches and the feuds just don't make any sense. It's just, I don't know why the WWE don't respect their tag team division anymore. I really don't. I don't have my finger on it. I can't understand. But here again is the tagline for this show. What are you doing with the tag team division?
Trust me, we got a lot more. We got a lot more what are you doings to come.
And it should be using a hashtag. And again, like I said, I'm going to go with you, DJ Storms. I'm going to say that they retain the tag team titles. But again, like I said, I just wish the WWE would respect their tag teams more and give them the proper booking that they deserve and give them the proper time. And I have ranted about this over and over again with so many different people. And I'm just very disappointed in just how they are pissing poor the tag team division and how they're booking it. It's not detrimental to anybody going forward. It really isn't, because no one can respect the tag team if you don't book them correctly.
Pretty much. Couldn't have said it better myself. All right, so I think we've made it, man. We made it to the last match. We're still here. We made it to the last match.
All right.
So, final match, the match that I think will main event, because realistically, I really don't see the SmackDown Live Tag Team Chamber main eventing. Shayna Baszler versus Sarah Logan versus Ruby Riott versus Liv Morgan versus Asuka versus Natalya. This is an Elimination Chamber match to determine the number one contender for Becky Lynch's Raw Women's Championship at WrestleMania. I said this on the Lightning Flash update from last week. Again, link is in the description. I understand that you can't just give Shayna Baszler a Raw Women's title opportunity. I understand that. And I agree with that. Have her earn it. Yes, I understand that, and I agree with that. But if you are going to do an Elimination Chamber, can you please actually build credibility for the other women in the chamber so it doesn't come off like the most predictable match that you will possibly put out for the entire year? Think about this for a minute. Sarah Logan is in this match. What has Sarah Logan done? She lost to Charlotte and Rhea Ripley over the course of the last month. Liv Morgan, what has Liv Morgan done outside of beat Lana, who, by the way, is the most worthless signee in the women's division right now? Ruby Riott hasn't even had a match back in the WWE. Natalya, she lost to the Kabuki Warriors in singles action back-to-back weeks, which raises the question, why isn't Kairi Sane in this match? Asuka's in this match. Why isn't Kairi Sane in this match? Kairi Sane in this match would have made it a hell of a lot better. Trust me. And on top of that, I apparently read a report that Vince McMahon is already souring on Shayna Baszler. I read a report that Vince McMahon reportedly isn't sold on Shayna Baszler. And this has to do with the fact that the match with Kairi Sane on Raw received a negative reaction, received "this is boring" chants. I saw that match, and that match was produced horribly. Whoever produced that match should be fired on the spot. The match production was atrocious. Vince McMahon literally has had Shayna Baszler for 3 weeks on Monday Night Raw, and he's already starting to sour on her. You know what this proves? I said about a year ago that the reason why Shayna Baszler got the NXT Women's Championship a second time was because of the fact that Vince McMahon either wasn't a fan of her or didn't have any plans for her. And Triple H didn't want Shayna Baszler to suffer the same fate that many women that came up from NXT suffered. Then I pretty much concluded that Shayna Baszler was in NXT because of the horsewomen, Marina Shafir and Jessamine Duke, and they needed something to do. And Triple H pretty much had no choice but to give the title to Rhea Ripley because he sacrificed the entire women's division to pretty much keep Shayna Baszler with the horsewomen while the horsewomen were still improving in the Performance Center. But based on this report with Shayna Baszler, it seems as though I was right. I was right with my first conclusion. This is the product of Charlotte Flair winning the Royal Rumble, which was one of the worst booking decisions that WWE could have done. Just like Lesnar winning Money in the Bank, it was a shitty booking decision. Now apparently Vince McMahon is souring on Shayna because of the negative reaction. Who produced that match? It certainly wasn't fucking Shayna Baszler. And on top of that, who booked that match? Certainly wasn't Shayna Baszler. You have Becky Lynch playing a character that is just as worse, if not worse, than Seth Rollins' face character at the end of 2019. Shayna Baszler's thrown in there with Kairi Sane. The match is produced horribly, which receives a "this is booking" chant, but Vince McMahon blames everyone but himself. No, it's the talent's fault. No, it's my production member's fault. No, it's the fans' fault. He can never take responsibility for his actions. Now it's apparently Shayna's fault. It's apparently Shayna Baszler's fault that it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. To quote Earl Cole, what are you doing? Matter of fact, not just what are you doing, what the fuck are you doing? That's something to think about. That I can put on a t-shirt and sell it. And I'm losing my voice. Okay. So, before I hand the ball over to Earl Cole, before I hand it over to him, that report was by Meltzer, by the way, which, if it's true, I wouldn't be surprised. My prediction is still Shayna Baszler. There's literally nobody else. The only other person that even has a cookie crumb chance of winning is Asuka. And I don't see that happening after Asuka already lost to Becky Lynch twice. I'm going with Shayna Baszler. Earl Cole, what do you got to say about this match? And then we can get out of here. We can prepare for SmackDown in 205 Live. Because like I said, we recorded this yesterday. For those of you watching, it's Saturday afternoon. We recorded this yesterday. So what is your analytical analysis on this?
Okay, first of all, the match on Raw with Kairi Sane and Shayna was boring. It had to have been one of the worst matches ever. Now, from what I understand, I believe Kairi Sane is going to be in this chamber match because Asuka is injured. Asuka has a wrist injury, and she did show up Raw in a cast. So I don't think she's going to be medically cleared to do this chamber. But that is yet to be determined. This is the problem that I have with Shayna Baszler. First of all, they kept her in the shadows for all this many months. And then all of a sudden, they started to put her on WWE television for the audience to marinate on her. First of all, Shayna Baszler should have been debuted in that WWE television a long time ago. But instead, that's not what they did. What are you doing? No, you just put her in the ring. She beat Becky Lynch, and then this is how you're going to introduce her to the WWE audience. This is not how you build a feud, and this is not how you do this to a character. You should have debuted her the minute you moved her onto the roster, and you should have found her something to do. You should have had her feud with some of the women on the Raw roster, if that is exactly what your plan was. But the WWE, again, doesn't do that. They make monumental mistakes when it comes to booking. They always make these piss-poor monumental mistakes. And this is what the audience hates with the WWE. They make these decisions that doesn't make any sense. If you are going to have a feud with her and Becky Lynch, you have to debut her right then and there on WWE television, and you have to give her something that makes sense for the audience to marinate on it. Again, what the hell are you doing? It's almost like they can't tie their shoelaces. I mean, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. It's almost like turning on the lights, everyone bumping into each other in the dark, and you're trying to find the light switch. You don't know what the hell's going on in here. This is ridiculous. What are you doing?
Oh, man.
What the hell are you doing?
How about a prediction?
So this whole thing is a train. Now, as far as... Okay, I'm going to get off my soapbox.
It's okay. Don't worry. Don't worry. It happens. It happens, my friend.
My prediction is I'm going with your prediction. And Shayna will win the match, and she'll become the number one contender. She'll take on Charlotte, and she'll take on Becky, and we're just going to keep forward. As far as Charlotte winning the Royal Rumble is concerned, of course, Charlotte's face and everything is on the front, so the WWE is always going to put Charlotte first and foremost in anything. So that's just the reason why Charlotte won the Royal Rumble, because
favoritism.
She's a draw.
She's not a draw, though.
And that's what the WWE wants, so not good with any other woman. Yes. Well...
She didn't draw for NXT. If she was a draw, then NXT would have beat All Elite Wrestling in the ratings, but they didn't.
I know. But that's their thinking, so.
Yeah. And that's why they shouldn't be running a wrestling company. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we made it. We made it. I think that wraps up this edition of The Rundown. I would like to thank each and every single one of you who tuned into this video. Like, comment, and subscribe. Let's try and get this video to 20 thumbs up. I know I'm going to be promoting it. I know Mr. Earl Cole is going to be promoting it. Comment down below if you're watching the replay. Hit that subscribe button as I am on the road to 2,000 subscribers. Follow us on all platforms of social media. All the links are in the description. Hit the notifications bell with a huge coup de grace. Yes, indubitably. Hit the notifications bell with a huge coup de grace. That way you will know whenever I pop up on YouTube. Because whenever I pop up on YouTube, it is the best time to be on YouTube. Because there ain't no one that does wrestling analytics like DJ Storms. Read the shirt. And of course, I gotta thank Earl Cole.
And he's the legit boss.
I gotta thank Earl Cole. Every single time Earl Cole and me collaborate, it is a barn burner, as Earl Cole loves to say. I know I'm stealing your catchphrase, I'm sorry, but it is a barn burner of a time, and I can't thank him enough. We're definitely going to do it again. We'll definitely do it again very soon. Check out his show. Again, if you want to check out his show, friend me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you want to check out his show, friend me on Facebook. Friend me on Facebook, links in the description. Then I will send you an invite to like the DJ Storms official business page. Then I will send you an invite to join the DJ Storms Posse group. And then you can watch his show, Wrestle Talk, with Earl Cole, on the Posse page. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm the one and only DJ Storms. He's Earl Cole. And this has been The Rundown. Hope you guys have a great weekend.